Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. It is July 28th, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our new time, guys, that we're going to be doing live stream. We were doing it on Sundays for a little bit. We actually started doing it on Wednesdays initially. We switched to Sundays. Now we're back to Wednesdays, and we're so happy to be here. I'm Radlin Mendoza. And this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner.
How's everyone doing out there
we
tonight?
are the attorneys at Gardner Mendoza Immigration Law. Physical office located in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We serve clients all over the world in all 50 states. But we are here tonight as we are. We try to be here every week, and we are, to answer your immigration questions and to give you guys an immigration weekly update. So if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments. For those of you guys joining us on TikTok.
This is our TikTok family over here. So if you see me looking over here all the time, that's what I'm doing, monitoring the questions coming in through TikTok.
TikTok brings the questions, a lot of questions.
I will say to you folks in TikTok that you have a better chance of having your question answered if you come through our Facebook live stream, because those are easier questions for us to field. We can see them better. We can post them up for everyone to read. And so we do encourage you. That's really the best place to get your question answered.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm checking out our Wi-Fi here. It looks like it's unstable on the computer, but we're gonna just go. And if you guys, if it's like unstable, let us know, and we'll try to make a correction here. But
so we're gonna give you some immigration updates tonight. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Daca again and what's going on with that. And of course, we are going to answer all of your questions that you have. I will make sure to warn you that what we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. So you can learn a lot from what we have to say here, and you can certainly have your questions answered. But it's our opinion about it, but not a legal opinion about it. Okay.
Yes, I am sharing across, putting it on my Facebook personal. And all right, I think we're good to go. You did the legal disclaimer.
That's right, the legal disclaimer.
That's awesome.
And we also like to start every evening that we do this with a immigration story, an inspirational story. Sometimes it's about one of our clients. Sometimes it's about just somebody who's in the news, who's making a difference, doing something great, and who has a great immigration story. And sometimes we just talk about folks from Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right. John and I were just in Nashville for a small law firm management conference. It was a great conference. We actually thought we would be exploring a lot more of Nashville, but we found ourselves stuck in the convention center. Of course, conference. It was a really good one. So we didn't feel like we could skip out on some of the material, although we wanted to. It was really
fantastic.
Long and cold. It was good.
Yeah, it was a law firm management conference, and we love to take care of our clients, and that's what we do. But we also have an absolute A team that works at our law firm, and so we have to make sure that we're taking care of them as well. So
they're great despite us.
So we do everything we can to make sure that what we're doing there for our team is fantastic, and that we're bringing our A game, because we know they do every day. And we want to reciprocate. So we were there in Nashville at the Gaylord Hotel and Convention Center. And if you haven't been to Nashville, we had never been before.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a really sort of a wild city with a lot going on. So just be ready to eat and have a lot of party going on, and music just everywhere that you turn.
I know it was a great experience, but not heart healthy food.
No, not.
But I guess we could have made better choices too.
So it's the immigration story, because kind of like Busch Gardens has, people wear the name tags with where they're from. Everywhere we were going, we were noticing these name tags, and they all said Egypt. And finally, just asked somebody, hey, is this you have like a big J1 program down here or something? And what we found was that it's not that at all. There just happens to be a huge Egyptian population in Nashville that apparently started with some folks that had immigrated to the United States and settled in New Jersey. And then for whatever reason, I don't remember what they said, moved to Nashville. And then just the community grew from there. Family members, friends knew that there were other folks living there. And so there's this really large Egyptian population down there in Nashville, Tennessee. And I don't know, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, well,
really cool.
we of course had to talk to them because we're immigration attorneys, and John and I also, when we were in law school, we lived in a district in Newark, New Jersey. It's called the Ironbound District, and it was all Brazilians and Portuguese, and it was a huge community. I mean, it was unbelievable. So it's probably like that in pockets of Nashville where.
I have no doubt. We didn't get that deep of a dive into Nashville, but I have no doubt that there are probably some whole neighborhoods with some Egyptian restaurants and everything else to go with it. So
right, and making small talk. We're like, don't you guys get tired of the country music and the tourists? And like, no, we love it because this is what we do. We are in the hospitality industry, and we are known all over the world for our amazing and beautiful hospitality, and we certainly felt it. And I just thought, that is a great way to look at things, because sometimes that music piping in from all speakers all around their work area, like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of
honky tonk.
It's a lot of honky tonk, a lot of country music all the time. But the people that we talk to, we're here to serve is basically what they said, and it runs in our blood, the hospitality. Yeah. So
the next time you're in Nashville, make sure you seek out some hot chicken, some ribs, and of course some Egyptian food.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
So you've got TPS update for us. Do you want to do that, or should we tackle a couple of questions? I've got a couple of questions here
already coming in here. Why don't we tackle just a few?
All right.
Because there'll be a lot. We know that.
Okay.
And then after we do some of those, you can take a little break. I'll talk about what we do know about Daca right now after the Texas case, and what we don't know about Daca right now.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
But before we answer the questions people are putting in the comments and also on our TikTok, we did get a question to our email. It was earlier in the week. And generally the question was, I'm here on a tourist visa. I love it here. I'm only allowed to stay for 6 months per my I-94. And that's typical. If you come into the United States on a B1, B2 tourist visa, you're typically going to get no more than 6 months. And the question was, how do I get to stay here? The specific question was, how do I adjust my status? So as immigration attorneys, when we hear adjust status, we think green card, right? We think green card. How do I go from tourist visa to green card? And there are very, very specific ways in order to do that. Now, the person writing us the question may have been, how do I change my status? Now, changing your status from B1, B2 to other different non-immigrant statuses, that's possible as well. You can go into student visa. You can, of course, get an extension of your B1, B2. There's if you're around during the season. Well, no, I'm not gonna put H1B in there because it's taking too long. There's the H3, any non-immigrant visa status that you may be eligible for. Typically, you can change from B1, B2 to that, and it's going to be a work-based non-immigrant visa, most likely. So going back to the question was, how do I adjust my status? And again, that triggers in me, how do I get a green card if I come into the United States on a B1, B2 and I don't want to have to leave? So very specific things. So if you're an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen, guys, so if you are the spouse, parent, unmarried child under 21 of a U.S. citizen, family-based, you can adjust your status. You can, you don't have to go. I highly recommend that you talk to an immigration attorney like us in order to make sure that the filing of your timing is right, so you don't trigger any issues with regard to immigrant intent. Right now, the spouses and unmarried children under 21 of lawful permanent residents, if you are here on a tourist visa, then you may be able to adjust your status as well based on the July and August visa bulletins, which are current for that particular category. And on the employment side, it's a little bit more difficult. You can apply to get a green card as an extraordinary alien, the EB1 category extraordinary ability alien. So one example of that, and I made a TikTok about it, is Mrs. Hidlin Diaz from the Philippines, who brought home the Philippines' first gold medal ever in weightlifting. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. So I did the TikTok and I said she could, because of this one time gold Olympic medal, she could, if she wanted to. I don't know if she would want to immigrate to the United States, but if she wanted to, she could apply as a person of extraordinary ability based on her one-time Olympic gold medal. Now, there are other categories. I mean, most of our clients don't have the one-time Olympic gold medal. I mean, but some of them do have like the Pan Am gold medal or silver. There are different requirements, and if you think you might fall under the extraordinary ability category, then that is another way to get a green card. If you're here on a B1, B2, there's also the national interest waiver. So those are the general categories that somebody can adjust their status, get a green card if they're here in the United States on a B1, B2. As you guys can see, it's fairly limited. It's not like wide open or anything, but that is a big difference, again, from changing your status to something like a non-immigrant visa. Hopefully that answers your question. See, the gentleman who wrote that into us, he wrote it in like 4 or 5 days ago. So we're answering his question first. So if you're here and we answered your question, give us a thumbs up. If you need more clarification, be happy to.
That's a lot of information.
I know. And I'm already thirsty.
She really knows her stuff. Have you noticed this? Wow.
Thank you. It is a lot of information, but it's been 22 years, 23
That's
years.
right.
So it's there. That's why I like to share it.
It's an adult life love, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna put this question up.
All right.
Kelton, just say hi to Kelton. Lisa, yes, we need a double date for sure. Doc, how's it going? Saul, hello. Thank you guys for being here. And of course, I don't think I'm even in the frame there, but
yeah,
that's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
Are.
I don't need to be on the frame.
Good enough. There you go.
But thank you guys for joining us as well, and for your questions. We appreciate all of you guys for making our live stream more lively with your questions.
Absolutely. That's what we like to do. We like to give the updates and, share our funny stories like the Nashville thing, but we really like to try to get to the questions. That's the main thing, to figure out what's on our clients, what's on your minds, and that you need answered and are trying to figure out. And we want to help with that.
We like to match too. Look at this.
Yeah,
See,
right.
We're matching.
Yes.
We're matching on purpose. We like to.
Is, Brooks Brothers.
Oh yeah, we had to buy that as a prop for our daughter's pink and white party. Lisa was there. This is the white shirt that I had to buy for John at Nordstrom Rack.
That's right.
Anyway. All right. So why don't you give us a quick TPS update? I'll take a look at these questions here.
Yeah, it's this Daca situation. So you may remember that last week when we were talking about this, I was talking about this case out of the Southern District of Texas here, and I always like to hold it up in case anybody wants to get the information for it. This is Texas versus United States and Perez. Whoops.
Oh.
There we
it's
go.
a paper
and now it's going
malfunction.
Down. Paper malfunction.
Paper malfunction.
Right. Now, what this did basically is, sadly, and I say sadly because it really is, in my opinion, just an unfortunate situation that really should have been solved a long time ago. And that is the Dreamers. Daca is just sort of this tennis ball, this volleyball that gets bounced around. There's absolutely zero controversy in this country about what to do about this, except that they're always a bargaining chip for the extremes. But that's just me on my soapbox. Each side wants to use them as the card to try to get leverage for something else. And it's unfortunate. But bottom line is, Daca has been on again, off again, and it was on again, but now it's off again because a federal judge in Texas ruled that the entire program was unconstitutional. And we've been getting a lot of questions about what that means right now. So here's what we know right now, okay? If you have Daca, and I'm going to read from a little crib sheet that we put together here. If you have Daca right now, it is still valid. Okay. So if you have DACA, don't panic. You're fine. If you have a DACA renewal application pending, you can keep renewing until further notice. All right. If you have a pending initial DACA application, there's an indefinite freeze on that application. Okay. So that's the group that gets tagged by this new decision. If you have a pending initial DACA application, there's an indefinite freeze. The Biden administration is appealing, and what will happen, I don't know. I predicted last time, because of the district that it'll go to, the Court of Appeals, that it'll probably be upheld and then go to the Supreme Court. And what the Supreme Court will do with it is anyone's guess. This current court, as you hear me say often, has not been as predictable on some issues as we thought it would be. So what they'll do, I don't know. If you're eligible for DACA, but you haven't applied yet, USCIS can accept your application, but can't process it. Okay. So if you think you're eligible, you can still go ahead and apply. And we always give the advice that you should apply sooner for everything rather than later, assuming you are eligible, assuming your ducks are in a row and you've got everything you need. You don't want to rush into any immigration case unprepared and without the right evidence that you need. Yeah. But if you're eligible and it's going to be a go, even with this case from Texas, you should definitely do it. They'll get it. They won't process it, but at least you'll be in the line. And if this log jam does become unclogged again, then you'll be ahead of some other people in the processing.
Yeah. And I just want to jump in here and say that I was kind of turning around in my head, what are the scenarios where I would maybe advise someone not to do that? And nothing really came to my mind. If you had an issue that would prevent you from actually getting DACA, then I wouldn't advise that you apply, and just wait to see what happens. But, again, as John said, if you have your ducks in order, you've got the documents, sometimes people are afraid that, oh gosh, if this doesn't go through or the appeal fails and they just get rid of DACA, then they're going to take my information, come knock on my door and come get me. Right. So that really is the core of fear for people and applying for DACA. I mean, but that's very, very, very unlikely to happen, especially right now. So I don't think that is a valid fear for people out there who are qualified, who've got everything. You have nothing else to lose. I mean, and it really is like, okay, I'm coming out of the shadows. I'm applying for my child, and he or she they're minors, and I am afraid about that. But guys, it's the time is now. And again, I know a lot of people are probably just like, I'm definitely not applying now. I mean, this thing is on appeal. We have no idea what's going to happen to it. But you're right. We don't have an idea of what's going to happen to it. We didn't know what was going to happen last June. We don't know what's going to happen. But when there is a benefit out there that you think that you can apply for, whether it's DACA, TPS, or whatever, you should go for it. You should really try to go for it. So I caution that, go speak with an immigration attorney. You can come to us. You can go, if you want to be with someone local, then do that. But I just couldn't think of any reason why. We are still telling our clients who have hired us to help them with this process to proceed and getting this filed. John's going to talk about some numbers, some processing time numbers that are really just scary.
And this is we're talking about the courts here. There could be a legislative fix that comes sometime, and
that's again, what everyone's hoping for.
That would you'd want to be in this line if there's a legislative fix. And hopefully that's what will happen. I mean, one of the reasons this gets kicked around, the last time that it was when they tried to end it, Chief Justice John Roberts, writing for the court, I think he said something, and this is not a quote, but something to the effect of, don't give us the burden, the court, of fixing this DACA problem. Congress, this is your job. You all fix this, okay? Don't make us the bad guy or the good guy, depending on which side you're on. Okay. So as we always tell you, if this is something that's important to you, pick up the phone, call your representative and tell them that you want this to be handled and taken care of, because a legislative fix could fix this I mean, a legislative solution will fix this in a day.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, they
absolutely.
could have this could be done tomorrow if Congress had the will to do it. Some numbers, as of May 31st, only 1,900, 3% of the 62,000 pending DACA applications had been approved. Right, so that's a backlog. And now with this new rule out of Texas, there are 81,000 pending first-time DACA requests, which the government is currently barred from reviewing. All right, so they've already got a whole bunch in the inbox. Okay,
so only 3% of the initial DACA cases, guys. And we could have started filing June of last year, right? Is that correct? Yeah, June of 2020. So in 1 year, only 3% have been adjudicated. 3%. I mean, that is...
Yeah, good memory. June 18th of 2020 was when Department of Homeland Security versus Regents of University of California. That was the case where the court went the other way and said that DACA had to be restarted because it had been shut down illegally.
Yeah. And when we were preparing for this last Sunday, I said, when could new initial DACAs begin? And it's like a few months ago, right? And then John said, no, it was June of last summer. I mean, because the time had just flown by.
Right.
The point, guys, is that if you feel like you're eligible for something, go talk to somebody. Most immigration attorneys charge a consultation fee. But there are clinics out there if you can't afford the consultation fee, and you can afford the consultation fee.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's absolutely worth it. What could be more important than this?
And it's not come hire us. I don't care where you go. Go hire somebody to review your immigration history and periodically review it over go every year, because it's worth that $245, $175, whatever anybody charges who is a reputable immigration attorney in your town. We also do consultations virtually, but whatever it costs, it's worth it to go get your case evaluated.
Yeah.
And even if you don't like what I say or what another immigration attorney says, it's worth another $300 to get someone else to look at it. I mean, this is your life. This is your immigration case. It's also the lives of your children. So I don't have the money for a consultation. I reject that.
This is our tough love moment here.
It's tough love.
All right. This is tough love. This is like when people don't get a physical because they say they don't have time. I mean, we all can make time to go find out what our cholesterol level is. Okay.
See, I have been procrastinating on that because I have been eating like very poorly coconut milk and stuff. I don't want to go get my cholesterol checked.
So just a couple more things here.
A little diversion.
A couple more things on this list. If you have advanced parole through DACA, it is still valid. And if you have DACA and a pending advanced parole application, USCIS will still process it. All right. Here's some things we don't know. These are open questions at the moment while this case is working its way up the court now. It's unclear whether people who let their DACA status lapse for more than a year can reapply. In the past, USCIS stated that individuals in that situation should file a new initial application, but since those have been stayed by the court, we don't know. We don't know what the situation will be with that. It's also unclear whether DACA recipients who travel on advanced parole will be allowed to re-enter the United States upon their return. And it's also unclear whether USCIS will cancel biometric appointments for initial DACA applicants, although anecdotal evidence suggests that USCIS is doing that. And we don't know what will happen if a person's DACA status expires while a renewal application is pending. So I'm sorry about that. There's nothing worse than uncertainty. With a lot of things. And with these cases, there really is nothing worse. Sometimes it's even if you just know something's not going to work, then you know that you need to have put together a different plan, a different approach for what you're going to do. This is all up in the air, but that's what we know right now and what we don't know right now. And we will keep you posted.
Yep.
All right.
And John and I, we're members of American Immigration Lawyers Association. We're on their database.
Yeah,
our information comes from American Immigration Lawyers
absolutely.
Association. And we, again, we want to thank you guys for coming to our Facebook Live, because it makes us, or our live stream makes us better attorneys. Because we want to report accurate information to you guys. But anyhow, thank you for updating on that. I'm going to answer a couple of questions here. Kelton Arning, hello. He's got some math going on here. He says if Manila is processing 100 per day, guessing 500,000 divided by 100 is 5,000 days, 7 days a week, 365 years, 14 years backlog. It doesn't add up. I agree. It does not add up. Kelton, he also asked how many K-1 visas. Do I know how many K-1 visas Manila is processing per day? I do not. We don't swear on live stream. We don't, but I'm not going to. It is a mess. It is a hot mess. That is all I will say, Kelton. It absolutely does not add up. I have no idea how they are going to get rid of the backlog. I'm in the same boat with you, Kelton. If anyone out there has a pending fiance visa interview, just waiting on the interview, we're in stall mode. Let's file a lawsuit. Those have worked. So that's the other option.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, when you exhaust all your administrative remedies in any area of law, including immigration, the next step, the next place you can go is to the federal court. So if that helps you down the road in life, good.
Yep.
It's not where you hope that's not where your case comes to, but that is ultimately where you can go with it, whether it's immigration or tax or Social Security or whatever. All right.
All right. I'm going to put this question up from Doc. Let me read it real quickly. Will you read it for me, and I'll read it in my
Hi, Attorney Mendoza. My spouse is going to file for my I-130. I'm here in the U.S. My 4-year-old daughter, stepdaughter, is in the Philippines. Is it advisable to petition her together, or should I wait till I get my green card and then apply for my daughter?
Gotcha. Okay. So if I am reading this question correctly, this person is in the United States, probably came in on maybe a non-immigrant visa, maybe a tourist visa. Spouse is a U.S. citizen. Am I correct about that? Or is spouse a lawful permanent? It doesn't matter. Whether spouse is a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, they're going to file for this person, right? The question is, should the spouse, U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, file for the daughter, the U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident's stepdaughter? All right. So the daughter is 4. So they have gotten married prior to the stepdaughter turning age 18. Spouse can petition for the stepdaughter just as if the stepdaughter were a biological child. So if I were doing this case and if money were no object, I would say file for the daughter now. The daughter is in the Philippines. That's going to take, that I-130 is going to take, maybe a year to get approved. So, if time is of the essence, I would say that it is when it comes to children, then have not sure if it's a wife or have the step parent, the U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident step parent file the I-130 for the stepdaughter, the 4-year-old. That's my answer. All right.
That's your educational and informational purposes only answer.
That's for educational purposes, right? I mean, we do have a lot of facts there, and again, this is general advice. I mean, there could be reasons why we wouldn't do that, but based on what has been given to us. Do we have a question?
Yeah, you want to grab one from TikTok? Okay, because a lot of folks have been coming in here. So
I want to say hello to Miss Kim. Hopefully you're still on. Hi, Miss Kim. Hope you're doing well. Great to see you.
Yeah.
And Miss Anna Villanueva. Hola. How are you? God bless you too.
So Sammy from TikTok wants to know whether getting a Form N14 after the N400 interview is something that he should be or she should be worried about.
No, I would just respond to it, whatever it is. No, it's typical. Yep.
Yeah. So the N14 is a request for information during the naturalization process. And so nothing to panic about. Just provide the information, whatever.
Provide the information. Right.
All righty.
Nothing to worry about.
All right. The next question up here, it's a little too vague. So unfortunately,
while you're looking at that, Sal has a really good question. Sal says, my green card is about to expire in March. When should I start the process to remove the conditions, and can I apply for citizenship at the same time? So let's see, let's just say it's August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So if we're talking about a 2-year green card here, which I believe that we are, then a person has to file the I-751 petition in that 90-day window before that 2-year card expires. So you cannot file it sooner than in that 90-day window. So what is the 90-day window before March? It's January, February, March, right? No, it's December to January, February, March. Yeah, you guys are watching me count months here. It's painful, I know, but so December is the 90-day period before March. I don't know when in March it expires, but that 90-day period. Do not file it sooner. It will get rejected. Okay. Second part of this question is, can I apply for U.S. citizenship at the same time? No, you cannot. So you can file for U.S. citizenship at the 2 years and 9 months mark from the time that you got that first conditional resident card. So 2 years and 9 months. So in March, it's only going to be like 1 year and 9 months, right? So you have to wait another year. So when I say 2 years and 9 months, you're going to see 3 years. You can file 90 days early. Now, here is a little extra bonus tip for you guys, which I feel like I say this every week.
A lot of extra tips.
Yeah. That's great. The bonus tip is, Sal, if you file your I-751, okay, and I-751s take a long time. They take a really long time. And that 2 years and 9 months rolls around for you to file your citizenship, but they still have not approved that I-751. The $1 million tip today is you should still file your N-400 even though that I-751 has not yet been approved. So you can get that in the queue. Okay. And if you have your N-400 interview before your I-751 is approved, then your spouse should attend that interview with you, and you should be prepared to show that you all had a bona fide marriage from the time that you got married. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. So give me a thumbs up if it did answer your question. If you have any other follow-up, be happy to grab that. All right. What's going on over there in TikTok world?
Well, somebody wants to know if it'll be difficult, and this keeps scrolling past, difficult to obtain a CR1 conditional resident visa with a 2-day ESTA overstay, ESTA, electronic system for travel authorization.
the ESTA.
Yeah. So,
nope. It depends. So what is it? Are they applying? I mean, they're getting married to a U.S. citizen and don't know.
Just asking if it'll be difficult to obtain a CR1 visa with a 2-day
conditional resident. Okay, yeah. CR1 is marriage to a U.S. citizen. Okay. So the general question is, can you file a marriage-based case if you entered on an ESTA and you have overstayed that ESTA by a couple of days? That's the question, right? And the answer is yes, you can.
Will it be difficult?
Will it be difficult? I mean, all things being equal, and we don't have anything else going on there, it should be fine. It should be fine. But again, this is very, very general information. I recently did a TikTok. I mean, I actually did it today, and it was about one of our former clients. She got turned back. She was coming from Asia, and she came in through Dulles or whatever airport it was, and they asked her the purpose of her trip. She's here to see her boyfriend. They were like, your boyfriend? I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend. Are you sure it's nothing more than that? I'm positive. They call the boyfriend, and the boyfriend's like, oh my gosh, my fiance, she was supposed to arrive and I don't know what happened to her. What's going on? It's like, your fiance? She says that you're just the boyfriend. It's like, it's my fiance. They sent her back. So sometimes you got to be careful. We were able to fix that case with the king when she got super, super lucky. Like they felt bad. I mean, she got so lucky that they did not ding her with a fraud and misrepresentation. She got so, so lucky. But you just got to be careful. So is it difficult for you? Yeah, maybe it will be. I don't know what the facts of your case is. So did you lie when you came into the United States? Did you tell them that you were going to go visit your aunt in Boulder, Colorado, but then you flew directly to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and never went to Boulder? Yeah, it might be difficult. It could be a problem if they went back and they said they looked at your the facts of your case. So I don't know, and I'm not trying to be flippant here, but
fact sensitive.
It's everything is fact sensitive.
Hope that helps, Jess.
All right, let's see here, Renee. Let's see here. Renee says, how can someone get the U.S. visa if they don't have an immediate family who's already married in a different country? How can someone get the visa if they don't have immediate family and is already married in a different country? So Renee, I'm not sure exactly how to answer your question.
Already married to who?
Yeah. So if the question is, I don't know, I don't even want to kind of like guess around this question as to what the question is. If you want to write that question again, I'll look for your comment. Just what is how can someone get the visa? What type of visa are we talking about? A green card, an immigrant visa? Are we talking about a tourist visa? I'm not sure exactly. If you want to clarify that, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, you said no immediate family. Is that including the spouse? Is the spouse somebody that's here? Or I know you were married in a different country, but if you could fill in some of the more facts, some of the details, maybe we can have a better shot at that.
Right. And sometimes some of the questions I get sometimes are, hey, I'm here. I came in on a tourist visa. I met someone. I'm married back home. I haven't been with that person we're separated. I haven't been with that person for 5 years. Can I get a divorce and marry this person who's a U.S. citizen and get a green card that way? So I'm not sure if that's the question is. I'm just totally guessing, but that is a common question that comes up for us. So
yes,
thank you for that, and just put it put it back in there.
Villanueva's joining us. Hi, Anna.
I know.
So happy to see you.
I love seeing her. Miss Anna has a beautiful smile. She always is very positive on Facebook, not just on our page, but on everyone's page. So thank you for being a light.
So Michael out here on TikTok wants to know if there are any updates on the Dream and Promise Act. I'll go ahead and field that one real fast. Yes, the update is that it's stalled in the Senate. The immigration reform is stalled in the Senate, as it has been for some time now. And I talked about this last week. If you want to go watch our live video from last week, it looks unlikely that in its current form or any form, it's going to get the support that it needs in the Senate. The plan B was to try to peel parts of it off and attach it to a reconciliation bill that can come through the House as a spending bill and then can go through the Senate with a simple majority, thereby bypassing the filibuster. But the problem with that is that it's very, very questionable whether the Senate parliamentarian will deem any change to the immigration law as dealing specifically with spending. And that's what a reconciliation bill has to be, is a spending bill. So that's where it is right now. We were talking earlier, Michael, I don't know how early you got on, that if this is important to you, call your representative, let them know that you'd like them to push for immigration reform, even if it's not the whole burrito. I know that everybody wants that. I always am advocating that people tell their representatives that, hey, if you got to peel bits and pieces off of this, TPS, farm workers, Daca, whatever, that's fine. That's fine. That's better. Something, in my opinion, is better than just having all these folks held hostage year after year, cycle after cycle. Congress changes, the occupant of the White House changes, but what I've seen in 23 years is immigration reform never comes. So I hate to sound pessimistic about that. It's just that I feel like the all or nothing could be maybe a bad approach. All right.
I think they normally say whole enchilada, not whole burrito. But
yeah, I say the whole burrito.
Here's a good question. Who's this? Miss Georgia Garten, my mother-in-law. Hello, how are you? She wants to know if we got a lot of good information at the conference.
Yes, we did, Mom. We got a lot of great information at the conference. It was a law firm management conference, 4 days, well, 4 nights, 3 days. And yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. We enjoyed Nashville and we got a lot of great information.
Yes, thanks for coming to our Facebook. All right, let's see if we have a question here. We have a comment from Kelton, and I'm going to read this. Kelton says it's sad they give you a 2-year green card. Then 2 years later, you have to file the removal conditions for the 10-year card, but then you can file citizenship 9 months later. Why not give a 3-year card to begin with? So I'm going to just say that, I agree with you in a lot of respects there, but I will give the reason as to why we have the 2-year card and then the 10-year card. And that is to prevent, to try to catch people who are engaged in marriage fraud. So if you are married for less than 2 years and you apply for the green card, and at the time of your interview, you are still married for less than 10 years, you are going to get the conditional lawful permanent resident card, the 2 year, it's going to be valid for 2 years. But you and your spouse then have to prove yourself again, 2 years and 9 months from receiving that card, that it was a bona fide marriage and still continues to be a bona fide marriage. So that's the reason for the 2 year, the 10 year. I do get it. The timing of the U.S. citizenship is all nuts because you can file it at 2 years and 9 months. And especially now with the processing delays and backlogs, we are seeing a lot of our clients with the 751, but it's time to file their N400, and we just file the N400. Sometimes we get that N400 interview before the 751 even gets approved. So thanks for that comment. You're right in so many ways there, and it is frustrating. All right. Do we have any questions on that end?
Yeah. So let's see here. Somebody wants to know, the renewal of my work permit has been taking over 6 months now. What can I do to get it faster?
So I'm going to say that I made a video today, and it showed all of the different categories for when there's an automatic 180-day extension of your work authorization card. If you have filed the S765 to renew, and if you filed it before the expiration of that other card, then in some circumstances you can get automatic renewal, 180-day renewal of that. So go to that video, and I just put it up today or yesterday, and it's going to go through all the different categories. So C9 is a very common category. C9 is a category where, if you're married to a U.S. citizen or immediate relative, and they filed for you, then you file that 765 extension, you're going to get automatic renewal of that. Unfortunately, that's not the case for, say, H4s. Unfortunately, those are still backlogged, but please take a look at that video. All the categories are there, and that will help you see if that will be able to help you. What can you do about it? If you have, if you can show dire financial need, something like that as to why you need that to get it expedited, and I would definitely recommend trying to get it expedited. All right.
This is a good question. If you can take one more from TikTok here, I think this will be helpful to a lot of folks.
Okay.
He says, so I petitioned my fiance as a K1, and I added her daughter when I filed, and the case is approved. Will her daughter be part of the petition, or do I need to fill out a different petition?
Daughter is going to be part of that petition. So if you file the K1 for your fiance, any derivative children under the age of 20 are going to be able to come on that. So I don't want to get into this, but it's a very interesting thing here. Well, I'm going to get into it because it's interesting. So sometimes based on the age of the children of the fiance, sometimes we advise that they do the fiance visa process. instead of getting married and filing the I-130 immigrant visa petition. I don't know how old the children are, and the reason is because if the step parent can't file a petition for their stepchildren if the marriage occurred after the age of 18, after those kids turn 18. But if you do a fiance visa, the children will be able to come on that if they're under the age of 21 and still be able to get the green card. So it's very interesting the way that is set up, and that it's because it's an I-129F petition and not the I-130. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Did I answer the question?
You did. The original question, yes, you did.
Okay, all
absolutely.
Right.
You
said you're just talking and like
you
losing.
You said the daughter
losing my mind.
The daughter would be included. Yep. All right.
Okay, yeah. The purple, was that the purple?
No.
Okay, that's the same question then.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
is the same question.
Is the same. They've found us two different places. Fantastic.
All right, cool. Thanks for getting that question asked and answered. Way to go, the purple. Yeah. All right.
Fantastic.
I don't see any more questions on this end.
We're getting a lot of questions that are kind of dealing with, and I don't know if this is something that you want to address tonight.
If I can, I mean, here's the thing. The thing about our live stream and the thing that you guys need to know, this is really important, is we don't know everything. We cannot answer every single question. A lot of the questions I get on TikTok, I'm like, that's a good question. Let me go look that up. That's interesting, curious. I don't know the answer to that question. So yeah, sure. Let's see what we can and cannot answer.
We're getting a lot of folks asking questions about tourist visas from the Philippines. Are they issuing tourist visa? How long is it taking?
Yeah.
Can they get in because of COVID? What's the situation? A lot of folks seem to be wanting to know that right now, and I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, so I have not looked up tourist visa. So what you should do if you're wanting to know the answer to this question, okay? If you go onto the State Department and go under Manila, U.S. Embassy Manila, and go try to complete a DS-160 for tourist visa. And if it says over 999 days, then they're not processing. They're not processing anytime soon. So I haven't looked at it recently. We don't, as far as assisting people in getting the tourist visa, we don't really assist with that anymore because they don't look at any documents hardly anymore. So the applicant completes online the DS-160, pays the fees in order to get the B1, B2. So check that out. I think that it's pretty stalled in so many places. I was talking to a friend who she's getting married and her niece applied for tourist visa out of Venezuela, which she had to jet in Colombia because of all the stuff going on in Venezuela. And it's a year from now. Like she has a visa appointment from over a year from now. So it's backlogged, guys, so badly. It's not even funny. If you look at the comments here and you see the calculation that Kelton did for us. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And how is it going to work? I'm not sure. Maybe they could do like a en masse sort of interview, like a blessing. Anyway, so Lisa has a question here. She says, did you get my question about amnesty? I didn't see that. Let me
No, I didn't either. Here. We may have missed that.
Oh, yeah. See, we're missing other questions too. Quick question. How does amnesty work right now? It doesn't?
It doesn't. Yeah, right now, that's a loose term. Amnesty is
yeah, no one's saying the A word.
Yeah.
It's a bad word in the United States. But right. It's not. I mean, it's the immigration proposed reform bill,
right?
Which is stalled.
The amnesty. It's not technically amnesty, but what you're talking about is the broad bill to try to reform immigration and provide some sort of a path to legal status, maybe citizenship, even for anyone in the United States who's undocumented. And right now, it's just completely stalled out. And I just have not seen we were just talking about it this morning that I just have not seen anyone willing to spend the political capital right now for this heavy lift. And I'm just not encouraged. That's why I was saying earlier that I think it might be a better idea at this point to try to chip it out and clunk it out and break it down into different bites of that burrito or enchilada.
Enchilada.
Yeah, the whole enchilada, the whole burrito may just be an approach that's not going to work. Maybe I'm wrong, and people that are very passionate about this will tell me, look, you don't give up. We got to fight, and I get that. I just see a lot of folks in limbo, and as I said earlier, legal uncertainty is a really bad place to be. It's a very uncomfortable place to be, and so I would rather just to see some little pieces moving. So that's where we are right now. And thanks for the question.
Yeah, good question.
And I know that a lot of people are really curious about this, and I'm going to try to keep following it. Well, I'm not going to try to. I'm going to keep following it, and every week I'll bring updates if there are any, or tell you, at least where it is. Okay.
All right. Jessica asked the question, random question. Do you take civil court cases? We need to for an unpaid job. Thanks in advance. Unfortunately, we do not. Jessica, send us a direct message and we can give you the names of a couple of attorneys that we know who may be able to help you with that. You can just send it to our messenger. And
if you have any interest in trying to do it yourself, you can be a pro se plaintiff in a civil case. You would go down to the clerk's office in whatever city where this is going on, and you would file a warrant in debt. That's what you're going to be filing, depending on the amount. And I don't know off the top of my head. It's been so long since I've done civil work. I don't know what the threshold is. At a certain number, like 15,000 or 20 or 12 or whatever it is.
Don't even.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. At some point, if it's more than that, then you'll be filing in the circuit court rather than in the general district court. All right. But if it's a smaller case, that's what you would file. Warrant in debt.
All right. Paul. Hello, Paul. Paul has this question. Is there such thing as expeditious process for active duty service members? There is for naturalization, filing the N-400 application typically. Okay, this is for an I-130 application. Expeditious process for active duty service for an I-130 petition. I'm going to say it doesn't hurt to try, but typically no. No, there's not. Sorry.
All right. And JG, these are great initials.
Great initials.
JG wants to know, he said his wife surrendered her green card. Now she wants to come back to the United States. Is there a way for her to do that?
Spouse has surrendered the green card?
Yeah, I'm not sure that spouse, his wife has surrendered her green card. Okay. Now she wants to come back to the U.S. What's the best way for her to do that?
So if...
he says USCIS has her green card.
Okay. So it sounds like she abandoned the green card. I can't remember what the form number is. I think it's an I-407. Anyway, abandoned the green card for whatever reason. Maybe she did not want to live in the United States anymore and just travel back and forth on a B1, B2. Whatever the reason was, if you've abandoned your green card and you have a means to be petitioned again, say by a U.S. citizen spouse, then that U.S. citizen spouse can go through the process of filing the I-130 petition and going through National Visa Center consular processing, go through an interview. What country is this? Go do an interview wherever she is at the U.S. Embassy and immigrate that way. But she would have to have someone file a petition for her in order to come back to the United States as an immigrant. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see here. I don't want to miss any more questions. Yeah. I'm going to just kind of do a quick scan. Good morning, Lovely. Lovely's coming to watch this at the sunrise, from the sunrise to the sunset.
Yes, that's right.
That's awesome.
That's right. We were together this morning. I remember our brief time together.
And as you see, it's dark out here now. Like it was bright and now it's dark. I don't like it when the light changes like this. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So this person here on TikTok says it needs your help for my son back home in the Philippines, but no other details. So
be happy to help. Let's shout out our contact information. So for those of you who want more information and you want to have a consultation with one of our attorneys, with me or one of our attorneys, you can give us a call or text 757-464-9224. Again, that's 757-464-9224. A big question that we get is, oh, I'm in Boulder, Colorado, or I'm in LA, or can you still represent me? And the answer is yes. Immigration law is federal law. And so we're able to help people in all 50 states, of course, all over the world. If you want to send us an email instead, that's info@gmlaw.net. You can send a direct message through Messenger and through direct messenger on TikTok, and we'll see it. It's because we have so many followers on TikTok right now. It is difficult. It's just me answering the direct messages and comments. So I'm looking for someone to help me with that, because it's getting a little bit much. Just like I said, it's fun. I love helping people. But I also want to be attentive to people's questions. And so if you've asked me a question and I haven't answered yet, I apologize. It's just a lot of comments and questions. And
yeah, wherever you are, we can help you out. We do everything virtually. We do it through Zoom. Documents can be signed without ever seeing us. All right. So don't let that stand in your way. Okay.
All right. I've got a couple of questions here. All right, let's look at this one. Can you read this for us?
All right. Caroline says, hi, if I have a green card application started through work and I get married to an American citizen in the meantime, can I apply for a green card through marriage despite the pending application through work?
Yes, you can. You can do that. The question, I think, better question is, would it be advisable to do that? That's the question. Don't know where you are, Carolyn, in your process. And so are we ready to get the green card through work? Is that almost done? Or are we still waiting on a visa to become available? I don't think so. And so, yes, it is faster to get a green card typically through marriage to a U.S. citizen over, a work-based application. But when you do that, if it's a new marriage, like I said, less than 2 years, then you're going to get a conditional resident card. If you get your green card through work, it's going to be a 10-year card, and you don't have to do anything else with that. So that's the question. Where are you in the process? If you're almost at the finish line, then maybe you should not do that. But if you're still kind of at the beginning of the process, and maybe you don't even want to stay with the company, or whatever other considerations, I think those are the questions that you have to ask. But that's a really fantastic question. All right, thank you for that.
All right, and we got somebody who's nervous on TikTok. They filed their application for a green card in January and still have not received anything back.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So 7 months, no receipt.
7 months, no receipt.
What is it? A green card?
Yeah, green card application.
No receipt?
Nope.
That's not good. No receipt. Okay, that's unusual. That's definitely unusual to not have receipt notices back if you file an I-130, I-485 combination. So I would be kind of concerned about that. I'd ask a couple of questions. Have the checks been cashed? If it was a check, you can look on your check to see the receipt number on that. Do you have a mailer, like a tracking number for that? So there are a couple of ways that you can try to track that. But yeah, if I did not have a receipt in 7 months, I would be definitely concerned. If no funds have been taken out, I would very seriously consider refiling.
Yeah, and that's a really good point with a lot of these things. If you're a self-filer, you checking your bank account is a really great way to find out if something has happened, because if a check has been cashed, that's, then you have a paper trail where it is. At least, they have it and it's moving forward. So that's really good advice. Follow the money.
Follow the money. How many times have we asked you? You're like, hey, we haven't gotten a receipt notice back in 90 days. Can you see if this?
That's right. Yes.
Can you check this? If this check is
Yeah,
cashed
when
and
we have things that seem a little funky, that's always a good place to go to find out. Okay, well, the checks were all deposited, so that's a good sign.
All right, I'm going to put Carolyn's question back up in comment here. I haven't started the process through work. They're ready to start. Just want to know which would be faster. So yeah, the faster to get the initial green card. If you want a green card in your hands, it's faster to get it through marriage to a U.S. citizen. Again, keeping in mind that's going to be the 2-year card, and then you're going to remove those conditions 2 years and 9 months later. So for a total of 3+ years. Hope that answers your question. But if you want a hot green card in your hands, yeah, it's going to be definitely through marriage to a U.S. citizen over work.
Okay, Anahi filed an application, National Visa Center, filed 4 months ago, paid in full. They took the money. The check was cashed 3 weeks ago.
Is that the same question?
Yes, that's all part of one question.
So the National Visa Center?
No, this is not the other question. This is a different question, but all of it was broken.
What's
into
the question?
4 different parts. Filed something with National Visa Center, and sorry, I'll scroll away here. The check was cashed 3 weeks after the appointment, but now it's been 4 months since they've heard anything.
They had a visa appointment? Sorry, guys.
It's unclear. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's unclear what it was. It just says that how long until an application was reviewed and sent to NVC.
Oh, okay.
Filed 4 months ago.
Okay, gotcha.
And then,
Yep. Got it. Okay. So, when you go through the NVC, the National Visa Center, what's happening right now? It takes 12 to 14 weeks before NVC says, hey, you've sent us everything, all the documents that we need. We've got it all. Now we're waiting to send this over to the U.S. Embassy. And you can get that email, or you can get the email where it says, hey, we didn't get your XYZ document, or you completed this wrong. Here are the issues. Go fix this. Those are one of 2 emails that you can get. And the problem right now, again, is just that there's a major backlog. So we're getting questions like, everything NBC has received everything. How long is it going to take for them to schedule an interview at the embassy?
That question just came through.
And
TikTok.
the answer is, it's going to take a long time. I mean, it's going to take a long time. We have cases, unfortunately, that have just been sitting there. They've been done. Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. I mean, what the heck is going on there? They've been done. They've been sitting there and just waiting for them to schedule an interview. I mean, every place. It's just kind of stuck. So, guys, we all have to be patient in this together. Maybe we can just all be collectively patient, and we can all feel the patience and actually really truly be patient. I'm not kidding. It's really frustrating, and of course, as an immigration law firm, we're getting these kinds of questions a lot from our own clients.
A lot of timing questions.
Because you guys are separated from your spouses, your parents, your children, and your siblings. If you've already been separated from your siblings for 19, 20 years, and it's ready, but it's still pending. So we just all have to be patient. Unfortunately, that's all I can say. I mean, the global pandemic really spun things out of control as far as interview scheduling is concerned, and I'm not sure what the solution is going to be collectively as a whole to solve this major problem. But yeah, guys, we just have to be patient. It could be 8 months, a year before they send that over for an interview, honestly. All right.
Okay. All right, gang.
That was depressing.
We are now
We're now past. Hold on a
well
second.
past our 1 hour here, so we are going to wrap up unless you want to field
Yeah,
one or two more of these questions. That just
look, we have
creeped in.
we have our timekeeper.
Our timekeeper.
Come here, timekeeper.
Our timekeeper is here. She always comes up.
Look at how cute our timekeeper is.
Our
Look at how
timekeeper-
cute she is. So this is Ray. She's our youngest 10-year-old. It's very, very. Ray, you want to tell them how spoiled you are? No. Okay, it's okay. It's
That's
burrito time. Kel just says it's burrito time.
You are right. It is definitely burrito time and enchiladas. We can have both.
Okay, well, I'm going to just throw this question up because this is a follow-up from Paul here. Based on your answer to Doc Andrews regards to filing stepdaughter, does that mean the process might take a little bit longer rather than just filing I-130 for the spouse of the U.S. citizen who's already here, just adjusting status? Yes, that is exactly what I mean. The question is, just going back to that question, if you are able to file for your stepchild who is abroad, go ahead and file that I-130 petition, right? Go ahead and file that I-130 petition. That I-130 petition could get approved as the stepchild of a U.S. citizen. That could get approved in 4 months. It could get approved in 18 months. It depends on which service center it goes to. So go ahead and get that filed. Trust me, your spouse is going to be a lot happier if you do it now and kind of go through the process, and your spouse sees that you're working through that, and the child will be here. So yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Okay. And lastly, with Love in Connecticut wants to know where we are located. We are in the city of Virginia Beach, and she wants to know, can I use you guys for my process of citizenship? Absolutely. You don't have to be here. You live in Connecticut, we're in Virginia. That's not a problem at all. We can absolutely help you, and we would love to. All right. So just reach out to us at your convenience, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Michael, last question here. My coworker is not good with computers, and she's having a hard time sending her documents through SEAC. Yeah, it's a real pain. It times out a lot. Can she still go to a lawyer to help her? Absolutely. We can certainly help with the National Visa Center part. That's actually the harder part of the process, in my opinion, just because of all the documents that are required. So, all right, guys, it's burrito time.
Yes,
it is burrito time.
And
are we gonna do 2 thumbs up here?
2 thumbs up. Why don't you join us tonight? All right. All right, everyone.
2 thumbs up. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you. Oh, are we going to be here Wednesday? We're actually not going to be here on Wednesday. We will do one. Just watch us, and we'll keep you posted because we're going to be out of town. All right.
Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy the burritos.
Bye.
Okay?